Hello, I'm Mike of Near Left Dice, and this is the Kerbal Space Program. I've got my B2 flyer, which I think I've improved. I discovered that I have actually put those on backwards, those elevators. So every time I was having trouble, with my lift, and I think that was because those were backwards. I'm basically just taking this for a quick jaunt over to the island base. At not quite Mach 1. Because according to the big map, why are you showing me Moho? I don't want to see Moho. That is silly. That is a silly thing to show me. Why do you think I want to see that? Get that out the way. The reason being that the let's go with that now. Everything's kind of slow because I'm trying to do 18 different things at once, which is not very clever. But that shows as Anomaly, and I don't really want it to do that. I want it to show as, airport or whatever. What I want is the instrument window, which is down. There we go. So if I just do a flyover of the island, I should get that to not be an anomaly anymore. And should show up as something else. Very brief to go back to my big map. You can also see there's that collection over there. Let's go with some. Where's that? Go to flags. But there's also something a fair way off to the north. So I'm going to head off that way, is what I'm going to do. Once I've got this. Ooh. Old airfield. So I've now scanned the old airfield. Or island airfield. Let's see what the big map now says. Island airfield, there you go. I'm going to finish the actual. I'm going to fly over it. I don't think I need to. I think it's discovered it. I suspect it's as discovered as it's ever going to get. But I said I was going to fly over it, so I'm going to fly over it. And then I'm going to go quite high up, and I'm going to do a long flight off to the north. Valentina and Jebediah are very happy, it seems. Don't need Kerbal unplug. So that's another in the list of anomalies discovered and catalogued. There's the airfield there. Not even trying to land, I'm just flying over it. I'm fairly clear I don't need to. I've got close enough to get it with the BTDT scanner. But that'll do. So alright, we're now going to head north. Oh, no we're not. We're going to fall out of the sky, that's what we're going to do. I think all my radial parachutes have died. Yes, they appear to have all died. Not quite sure what's happened now. I'm not quite sure why my wing exploded. I'm quite cross about that, to be perfectly honest. And I lost all my parachutes as well. I was going to see if powering up will do anything, but no, it's going to make me crash harder. Sorry about that. Valentina and thing. I'm not quite sure what happened there. It's going to have to be a bit of an investigation. Right, okay. I shouldn't have. Looks like I shouldn't have gone straight to my parachutes. I should have. That is a mysterious crash. I don't understand what happened. Huh. I'm going to have to look up how you get the incident report, which I think I just had an opportunity to look at and I just really got rid of. Kerbal. Oh, there we go. Okay. Structural failure on linkage would seem to be the problem. So I was putting too much strain on it. Most G forces endured 9.7 G. So that was probably it. And everybody died. Zebediah and Valentina killed. Technically they come back, but so that's what happened. I caused too much stress on it when I went too steep. Attempted to turn too steeply. Well, fart. I might have been able to save them if I'd let everything slow down a bit and then deploy the parachutes. But then look like the parachutes all. I was going too fast for the parachutes. So there you go. That's somewhat irritating. I'm going to need to decide whether or not I'm going to just forget that ever happened. Right. I have decided to let that crash stand. it happened, you know. So I've got a new crew of Annika Kerman and Frankie Kerman. And we're currently heading towards an anomaly that was to the north of KSC. Which I don't know much about. My craft is getting very squirrely. It's currently nodding up and down because my speed control script, which keeps me at a constant-ish 600 meters per second, is now also taking care of the pitch, and I haven't quite sorted that out. So that's currently very bouncy, but I do seem to more or less be averaging level flight. If I can get this so I can set a particular pitch and stick with it, I can then start deciding to do things with now I'll then specify a particular vertical speed, and it will find the pitch that gives it that vertical speed, and then set the pitch through the controls. But that's going to be quite somewhere in the future. So this anomaly, whatever it is, seems to be in the middle of these mountains. Looks to be at the bottom of this kind of hole here. So I'm going to turn off my speed control program, which means I don't do that anymore. I'm going to start throttling down. Well, that looks like it. I don't know how closely I've gotten the anomaly waypoint to. No, that's not too bad. I thought it was actually on the side of the mountain there. But I don't know how close I've gotten that anomaly waypoint to the actual anomaly itself. I'm beginning to wish I need to start putting air brakes on this thing. Let's... right, so I'm doing the DT scanner. So I need to bring up the instrument window. I got the instrument window. So I may be too high up. Right, let's not go too crazy, because that's how I crashed my plane last time. But currently, I don't have any. I'm not using the throttle at all. So slowing down is going to be kind of entertaining. Especially need to be very careful about my my G-forces. Is there... Right, okay. Well, I can't go any slower because I'm literally gliding. It's unsafe to deploy my parachute because I'm going too fast. Okay, now it's safe to deploy the parachute. Okay. What I want to do, I want to be further, I want to be closer to over the anomaly before I deploy. Looks like I can kind of spiral in. Without crashing into anything. May even put in a bit of thrust. Interesting that the DT scanner isn't showing anything just yet. Might be that I actually have no idea where I am, and I'm actually not near my anomaly at all. No, according to that, I'm actually fairly close. Not where I do not currently have any control. Don't know what I'm doing. Right. Parachutes out. Right, so it's found monolith 00. Oh, let's pitch up, shall we? Not quite going where I want to go. I'm too high up for the parachutes to actually fully deploy, basically. It's not going to do it until I'm under 1,000 meters above the terrain. Well, that would have been one way of doing it, but that's not actually how I wanted to do it. Well, that looks like they're fully deploying now. So I guess this is as close as I'm going to get. Try giving myself a little bit of thrust. I really need a better solution for this kind of thing. I don't even know if this is going to be above the surface because the last one wasn't. Having said that, I've put my parachutes, I've fixed that problem of having the parachutes only on one side. Oh, that's interesting. Must have hit that by mistake or something. I wonder where I'm going to end up. I'm slowly getting closer to it, but then I'm falling out the sky, which might be part of it. Let's zoom ahead a little bit. What I'm really hoping is I end up on the right side of this ridge, which I don't think I'm going to. Yeah, it's a pain. I would very much like to have been on the other side of this ridge. So I'm not convinced that I'm going to be able to use this as a rover and get over that without doing something very bad. Let's see how much. Right, I'm going to stand on the brakes. Alright, nothing's broken. Gotta be cautious. Don't want to be taking off or anything. Part of the problem is the jet engines take a little while to spool up, so that they change. I don't get instant thrust, I just get go. So taxiing along, and I'm busily juggling with thrust. Okay, there we go. That seems to be about right. I wonder if I should put wheels on the edges of these wings, given they're so... Now this is the bit that could go horribly wrong. Right, okay. That was annoying, but survivable. Alright, let's see if we can't... Right, get rid of the gear. Okay. Well, there you go. Any landing you can walk away from, as they say. Maybe they didn't mean it quite like this, but never mind. Right, everything's running quite slowly. Wow. I would not have expected this kind of bouncing on Kerbal. Right, how are we feeling? Alright. So we're gonna go towards the anomaly and see what I can find. It should be, I wonder if it's going to be another one that's kind of just... Okay, that's a bit weird. I wonder if it's going to be another one that's buried in the ground. Yeah, well, that was not my most successful landing, although Given what happened earlier in this episode, it's not my least successful landing either. Why are you going off that way? Time Warp and Kerbal running seem to interact in interesting ways. Yeah, I would have thought if I was going to see it, I would have thought I would have seen it by now. Again, I might be slightly off because I had to set a custom waypoint, and although, you know, if I zoom in, they're very obviously very close together. So I've zoomed in quite a lot that you can't even see. You know, there's no kind of obvious contour lines. I think I might be as close as I can go. No, there's a something. There's a something. So we'll fast forward again. I have a sneaking suspicion that these monoliths aren't meant to be quite so varied. But there is some kind of problem. Oh, my game's not happy. Not happy. Very slow. Right, let's not bother with that anymore. Well, I've got to say, I've got the waypoint pretty well right. It's not too bad. So there you go. I now have that monolith. Monolith 00. To the memory of Jedediah and Valentina Kerbal. So if I move my camera, you can see just how big these monoliths actually are. But for some reason it's buried almost entirely, and I don't know if it's meant to be that way or whether they are just slightly mispositioned. So there you go, a little tiny bit of monolith to look at. Well, there you go. That was a slightly depressing episode, what with people crashing and dying. My understanding is that it is possible that they will be back, but I guess we're going to have to see about that. Until next time, I'm Mike and Enough Dice. Thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying these videos. You may, if you are so inclined, come visit Near Dice at nearenoughdice.com. We're also on Twitter and Facebook, and so you can find us there. And until next time, reach for the stars and bring a shovel for your monoliths, which are buried under the ground.